So I know we're talking about building your vision today, and I actually have a PowerPoint, but I wanted to talk about something that maybe nobody has talked about because it's kind of a taboo subject, and that's the fact that you need revenue to build your business. You need revenue to build your vision, regardless of what your vision is. In this society, it's going to cost money in order to bring that vision to fruition. So, in my 9 years in doing this privately and 20 plus years doing this in some management capacity in corporate America, one thing that I've seen is that we have these great big ideas and we don't always have the revenue to fund them. uh, One of the things that I forgot how hard it was for me to build my business out of my paycheck. And that's where a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of startups are struggling. They have things they want to do, but they can't afford the technology. They can't afford the wise counsel. They can't afford the automation, the expertise. They can't afford it. And part of the reason is because we have been conditioned to kind of bootstrap our businesses. And so I wanted to give people that are watching and listening an opportunity to understand that there's more revenue available out there than just what you can see, and that you don't know what you don't know. And so a lot of times you're stuck in this position where you're trying to struggle to get your vision off the ground, and you really don't have to, because there's a ton of startup capital available to stimulate and fund your vision. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today, is a startup capital boot camp, because we want to offer people an opportunity to identify millions of dollars in startup capital and hidden resources to help them build their business, build their vision. And what that's going to do for them is going to actually keep them from having to bootstrap their business. We're in a position right now, and especially women, everybody knows that even though I can help anybody build and scale their business, I have a special heart for women, because those women used to be me. And yeah, they run off on the plug sometimes, and they do things that I don't necessarily agree with sometimes, but I still have a heart for them, because I understand how hard it is to sometimes be the primary or the sole breadwinner and still have to worry about your husband's dreams or worry about your children's dreams, support your mother and your father, and still try to build a business or some semblance of something for yourself in the midst of all of that. So we've been conditioned as a society to bootstrap our businesses and to really nickel and dime our businesses. And I want people to know that they don't have to. You don't have to choose between building your business and paying bills. And so when you're out of that position, when you have startup capital, you can finally spend the money you need on marketing, because a lot of people think that grassroots marketing is the way to go. And nowadays, to be honest with you, and you could see we couldn't even get on the free platform just now. We couldn't even get on Facebook Live. So if I don't have Facebook ads and Google ads and LinkedIn ads running in the background, how am I going to compete? So you got to have the money to spend on marketing. You got to have this money to spend on technology. You got to have the money to spend hiring a team. We just did our stimulus application, and we spent $159,000 last year alone on payroll. So when you don't have a team, you move much, much slower. And a lot of CEOs are relegated to being solo CEOs because they are not investing revenue in hiring. And so if that's something, if you've never heard of us before, just a little bit about me. Of course, I'm a former JP Morgan Chase vice president. I'm a live stream expert. I've live streamed well over 5,000 live stream videos. I'm a social media influencer with 200,000 plus followers and growing online. We've generated millions of dollars online via social media, and that's a blessing. I've published 18 books and 25 plus workbooks. I've spoken on over 500 stages internationally, created over 100 sold out courses and workshops. I've been published in over 100 magazines on about 7 covers, and I've helped tens of thousands of individuals over the years be able to build their businesses online. And that's a blessing. And all of that taught me that we need to stop trying to build out of ashes. And yes, Phoenix do ride out of the ashes, but there's so much corporate money available out there that is geared toward minority-owned businesses, African-American owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses, Latina-owned businesses, that we've got to stop trying to struggle to put it together. We need to get out there and figure out where this money is coming from and be able and learn how to access that money. So if you're a business owner or you're somebody with a vision, then this may very well be the most important video that you ever watch. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to talk to you about what we call our Startup Capital Bootcamp. And this is the same Startup Capital Bootcamp that our personal clients are using to get access to lines of credit and access to other sources of business support. And let me tell you again why that's so important. You move so much faster when you have technology, automation, staff, advertising. You can literally go from 0 to 100 in a year when you have resources. And when you don't have access to those resources, it makes everything else so much harder. It makes you so much more frustrated. And it really makes you question, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? When all the while it is your mission, it is your vision, it is your destiny, but it's not adding up financially. So I don't want women to feel like they have to build broke businesses. You can build empires and dynasties, but you got to know how to access that startup capital. And again, without having to choose between, do I hire somebody to build my website or do I pay my light bill? And I mean, that's a real thing. Business owners are making choices based on their personal revenue. They're making choices in their business based on their paycheck, right? And so you got to have those resources, the systems and the tools, so that you can scale your business much faster than you're doing it right now. And that's why startup capital is important, so that you don't have to take the sacrifice out on your household budget. One thing that I tell people all the time, and I know it's super hard for women, because women, we have this idealistic approach to life and things, and you know, this oh, everything's gonna work out. But sometimes you have to go out there and get the knowledge, get the tools to make things work out. They're available for you, but you can't limit your knowledge and just think that, oh, I'm supposed to work this hard to build my business, because you're not. There's just too many tools available. And again, in the years and seeing my clients actually struggle to try to put these businesses together, I've learned, look, don't struggle with the technology. Don't struggle with the money. Let us do the technology and let us show you how to get out there and find the money that you need, so that you don't have to take this out on your household budget. And, you know, we all know it takes money to make money. If you know that, you're probably shaking your head right now. And if you don't know that and you're not operating in that principle, I need you to. Recently, I spoke on a panel of 7-figure women, and one thing that was synonymous about what all we said was that if you want to make 7 figures, you're going to spend 10 to 20% of that on tools, resources, and staff just to get to that 7-figure mark. And if that's not something you know already, then figure that in. You want to make $100,000, you're going to have to spend 10 to 20% of that just to get to the 100,000 range. So if you're not already of the mindset of who can I hire, what systems can I use, what marketing can I spend money on, what automation can I leverage, you've got to get in that mindset. You know, here's the thing, here's what I do know. It's not your fault you think that you have to bootstrap your business. You don't know any better. You don't know what you don't know. And for years, this is what we were taught. And a lot of those companies don't necessarily publicize the fact that they have millions of dollars of working capital, startup incubators, lines of credit available for startup businesses, right? Because their job is to make it available. And then they can go brag to the board and to the newspaper and to all of these places that, oh, we have X number of millions of dollars available for African-American startups. But if we don't go and ask for it, then we can't expect people to get it and give it to us. So one of the very reasons you're probably wanting to build your own vision is that you don't have enough revenue already to live the life that you know God has for you. I mean, and that's just true for the matter. If you look around you and you say, I'm better than my current situation, then that begs the question of what are you going to do to change your current situation? And if the answer to that is, I'm going to start my own business so that I can really live the life I want, then you definitely need to look into Startup Capital. Because if you're struggling for your day-to-day, that probably means you don't have enough revenue to really build your business. The Startup Bootcamp system is really the answer to having enough money to build your business the right way. And when I say the right way, I mean with all of the tools, automation, marketing, technology you need to compete now. These are things that are no longer optional. This whole COVID pandemic just made a shift, and it took everything from social media and the virtual realm being optional to now the social media and the virtual realm is all you have. So this is the best system we've seen to help you leverage multiple avenues of startup revenue for your business without having to take course after course or buy program after program to accomplish this, which is going to save you time, money, and frustration and help you get started faster and provide you with the knowledge you really need to get the capital that you need even more. Let me tell you guys something. Let me stop this presentation and tell you something. I've been so frustrated over the last few days because the government is handing out money hand over fist. And most small business owners don't know how to get it, don't know they're qualified, don't know how to access it. They put you into this paperwork funnel, right? And if your business wasn't formed with the right basis, then you don't have the paperwork you need to qualify for the money that will save your business. Over the last few weeks, they've rolled out multiple multi-trillion-dollar stimulus packages, and there's so much bad information going around as to what people really qualify for that people will say, I asked one of my friends, hey, did you apply for this? No, somebody told me I wasn't eligible. Who is somebody? Who are they? And stop listening to people. Call your government authority, call your local, the mayor's office, ask around, ask your tax advisor, ask somebody who really, really knows whether you're eligible for that money or not, because you're in a position where I don't care who you are, the COVID pandemic did impact your business earnings. And so if you don't turn around and leverage those resources to get back on your feet, then you run the risk of going out of business. And the money is there. You just have to ask for it. And it's the same with the Startup Capital Bootcamp because the money is there. And a lot of people don't know to ask for that money. And so they sit back and they go without. And I want to talk to you about what it cost us to get all of this information. We spent $15,000 to learn sponsorship. We spent another $5,000 to learn grant writing. We spent another $5,000 to learn about the different startup capital incubators and programs. We spent, I think it was $7,000 or $8,000 on business credit, about $5,000, almost $6,000 on personal credit. So we spent anywhere from $35,000 to $45,000 just to be eligible to put our hands out and get access to this money. And this getting access to this money is not even about, do you have the money? It's why would you spend your own money when corporations forever have been using this same methodology, right? And we spent over a year trying to get all of this training so that we can put this training in one place for our clients. And so, you know, you have that choice of being able to spend all of this time and all of this money, not having to take all the programs that we did. And if you had that opportunity, I would suggest you would find a way to make it happen. You know, Startup Capital is so instrumental to your success because the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics says that about 20% of small businesses fail within 1 year. But by the 5th year, that number climbs to 50%. So if you were to get in a room with 100 entrepreneurs today, 5 years from now, only 50% of you guys would still be standing in that room as entrepreneurs. And the primary reason is because sometimes we don't have a fighting chance. And Startup Capital gives you the fighting chance at business success because you're able to afford the things you need for a successful business. Guys, a successful business is more than a notion. It's more than a notion. Let me show you some of the things that you would need to start a successful business. Because I remembered you earlier, I told you earlier, however much you want to earn, you're going to have to spend 10 to 20% of that in startup capital. So if you want to earn $50,000, you're going to have to spend $5,000 on something. And that's going to be a good mix of knowledge, which is consulting, technology, automation, and staff. To earn $100,000, that number grows to a minimum of $10K. To earn $250,000, that number grows to a minimum of $25K. And to earn $1 million, that is a minimum of $100K. I have a client that makes she's right at $1 million. She's like $880,000 a year, and she spent $160,000, right at $200,000 on payroll alone last year. Those are the numbers. You would think you get to bring it all home, but you don't. Most beginning business owners and even seasoned business owners don't know that, don't have that level of money laying around. And you don't know that there are other places that you can go and get this revenue. And I want to ask you a question. If you had access to just $20,000 in startup capital, how would that change your business? Wherever you are right now in your business, if you had $20,000 to spend in your business, what would you do differently? That would give you money for staff, technology, wise counsel, advertising, equipment, monthly expenses, travel, and even more. Business owners should be at business conferences every year. Business owners should have top of the line equipment. Businesses should expect to have an advertising budget every month. Businesses should expect to have business consulting, technology, staff to do the things that you're not good at doing. And that's the only way you're able to grow your business. And again, so that you can finally make decisions based on what's best for your business versus how much money you have in your household budget. If I hear one more woman say, I can't afford, yes, you can. There are so many options available that it's unreal. Some of us have totally given up on our personal credit. A lot of us don't even know that our business credit doesn't have to leverage your personal credit. A lot of us don't know that there's startup incubators right around the corner of your house that will give you grants and funding and resources to help you build your business. A lot of us don't know that there's sponsorships, corporations that are looking to and would love to sponsor your events. A lot of us don't know that there are minority-owned, women-owned, veteran-owned, government, state, local, and federal contracts available that you could execute to be able to generate the revenue that you need in your business. So there's just so much money that we don't know about. But again, if you had $20,000 in startup capital, what would you do first? And how would that impact your ability to get in front of new clients? Another thing I hear people say all the time is nobody will buy my stuff. No, that's not true. Just the people in your circle won't buy your stuff. If you're able to get beyond that normal circle, you're going to find people who are itching to buy your stuff. And it's all a numbers game anyway. The more people you get in front of, the more people are going to buy your stuff. Just think of how any amount of startup capital would improve your brand presence, would improve your business knowledge. And, you know, to be honest, there's nothing new about what I'm telling you to do. It's just new to us. If you look at every big business from Amazon to McDonald's, what you're going to find is that they leverage investment capital versus cash on hand to build their businesses. They're not securing hotel space for an event with their personal credit card. They go and get some type of line of credit. They use that line of credit to build that event. Once that event is profitable, they pay off that low interest line of credit and they keep the rest. And if we're not operating in that same space, we limit our ability to build dynasties, empires, corporations, and legacy. I'm going to repeat that. Dynasties, empires, corporations, and legacies. We got to stop building mom and pops, because your mom and pop won't carry your children into the future. And now more than ever, your opportunity to move faster and make more money is unprecedented. It's unprecedented. We just shifted into the digital age. We just made a quantum leap into the digital age overnight. So if you've been online more than 3 to 5 years, you just became a subject matter expert. I don't care what industry you're in. And that Startup Capital allows you to really compete in a highly competitive market. And do I need to say that the fish tank just got more fish in it? So now you got people who previously weren't doing business online at all, trying to come online and do business. So you got to show up every day with your best face on, with the money to compete. And I know women, we say collaborate, don't compete, but the market is competitive. Doesn't mean you can't collaborate with some people. I collaborate with Talisha among others, but don't get it twisted. I'm here to compete for my life. I'm here to get my business in a place that I can take care of my family and build generational wealth. The Bible says that a person that doesn't take care of their family is an infidel, and I don't want to be there. So Startup Capital allows you to be ahead of the game. I see so many women, and I've seen so many women over the years that are just always struggling to try to play catch up. Always struggling to try to play catch up. And I'll give you a perfect example. When the SBA came out with the first round of loans, they said you have to prove credit worthiness. Well, I started working with my clients 4 to 6 months ago, because I said, if you're going to build business, we have to make sure that we not only shore up your personal credit, but we start to build your business credit as well. And that's one of the questions, will allow you to get access to this money or not. We got to stop being shut out because our credit is not where it needs to be, or we don't know where to go to get the money that allows us to be ahead of the game instead of trying to play catch up. So I want to offer people an opportunity to schedule a call with me to talk about what Startup Capital really looks like for them and their business. Going forward, this is where all my clients start. Because once your Startup Capital is healthy, and you can go here to access revenue, and you can go here to fund your event. You're not trying to fund all of these things, the technology and the staff and your events out of your pocket. And it just makes you not just much more profitable entrepreneur, but it makes you a much more happier entrepreneur. You can't deny, I don't care how you feel about money or how you felt about money in the past, you can't deny when you don't have to struggle to make things happen, and you can build and create. And with me, it's being able to help others build empires and dynasties and legacies and create generational wealth. So the more efficiently I can do that, the happier I am. And it starts with being able to create that startup revenue. So if you go to bit.ly, the number 7-figure startup, you can schedule a call with me. We can talk about the best route for you being able to leverage Startup Capital to build your business. Yes, and let the people say yes. And may the people say amen.
Amen.
Amen for me.
Miss Cherry, I got a gift for you. I'm going to send it to you.
All right. I love gifts.
You're going to like this one.
Okay.
I think the other 8 of us like gifts too.
I'll get mine first.
I'm gonna send y'all all a gift.
All right.
Well,
I'm gonna send y'all
all right.
I'm gonna send y'all a list. I'm gonna send y'all a list of sponsors.
Oh, okay. I love that. Okay, now that's
a gift.
That's a gift.
That's a gift to keep on giving.
Yes.
Awesome gift. We need sponsors.
Right, yeah. I think that's why she got that clock in the background, because she know the time.
Mm-hmm.
No, Talisha tell you, I've been fussing. I stay fussing about money. She would tell you. I'm like, girl, we can't operate. We can't say the world and not. And let me tell you, these corporations have been so. It's a lot of them is part of their. It's part of the litigation.
Mm-hmm.
So if they come under litigation for sexual harassment or discrimination or anything, part of their mediation is they have to create these programs. Now, they don't have to advertise these programs, they just got to create them. And so I know Goldman Sachs has a multi-million-dollar incubator program. And you were talking about, Ms. Cherry was talking about connections earlier. This is where you go to leverage those connections. These are the people that you're gonna meet that are able to connect you with angel investors. These are the people that we're just so busy, we're just so used to bootstrapping everything, but I just refuse to let y'all continue to do business like that when there's just so much money out in the world that, people will come in and help you. So I hope that helped you guys.
Absolutely. Especially the corporate giants.
Right, and you know what, you said something that was really key, when you first started talking about startup capital, because as African Americans, especially those of us that come from the descendants of slaves, we just don't have it. A lot of us, we just don't have it. Although we may be one of the fastest number of growing business entrepreneurs, yet we don't have a parent that can lend us that Mark Zuckerberg money of $300,000. We just don't have family that have those kind of deep pockets. So just emphasizing the importance of startup capital. I know typically we don't have it, but how to utilize different avenues to go and get it, and just sharing that.
And
very
Forbes
important.
Magazine said that although women make up almost 50% of those new startups, the mass majority of them, I think it's like 96%, fail to scale beyond $50,000 a year. So for somebody who customarily, like myself, makes well over $1 million a year with multi-million-dollar projection for this year, I can't do it without money. I can't do it. I'm telling you, we lowball $159,000 in payroll last year. You're gonna have to have that level. I know we probably spend another 50, 75 on technology. That's what it costs nowadays to automate and show up in this space. And when you don't have it, you gotta know where to go get it. So if that means you don't have to spend $30,000 on this event, and you could take that $30,000 and show up your infrastructure, so you're doing all the right things, like building lists and having lead magnets and being able to run ad campaigns and marketing campaigns, not just on Facebook, but Google and LinkedIn and YouTube. Do you have a marketing team that's going to tell you where to get the lowest clicks per dollar? And do you have all that on your payroll? And when you don't, why not? And we got to stop saying we can't afford, because the Most High did not put me here to struggle. And every day when I wake up, I slip on them glasses like Dr. Naima got on, the money goggles, and I say, where is the money that I need to make this happen? And right now, I'm gonna tell you, I built 3 brand new businesses out of COVID. One's called Essential Global. I'm gonna use my time at Chase building remote teams to show these corporations, government entities, educational institutions, and churches how to connect remotely. I've been on the internet 9 years. They don't know they're struggling. They gave these people a laptop and said, go home. That's a multi-million-dollar business. The second one is online, Patterson Online School of Business. Why? Because everybody's gonna have the need to create an online business of some sort. Let me get some government money for it. We about to get accredited. So you gotta understand that if nothing else, get certified as a minority-owned or women-owned business, so you can be eligible. They got people teaching slip and fall for $5,000. My girlfriend went and taught a 2-day slip and fall, and they paid her $5,000, and all she did was stand up with some slides saying, when you see the yellow cone, be careful, don't slip, don't fall. And that's how our government wastes money. But if we're not in line to get some of it, and if we don't know how to go and apply and look for it, I'm sorry, Dr. Ladere, I'm gonna just cut my mic off. Girl, I get passionate.
We appreciate
Blessing us.
Talisha, no, I'll be for real, like for real, about this bread and about my sisters of all colors getting paid, because we all got the same struggles, low key.
Right, and you know, and that's what makes you an EmPower player. You know, I'm not gonna mute you. Just like Altview said, baby, you unmuted today. Now I don't know about tomorrow, but I know today you are, because because you're saying things to empower other women and to help us. Because this is what we need to hear.
Yeah, go look for the money. It is out there. Even if you just Google your industry and grants and whoever you are. So Dr. Nyman said African American chiropractor grants, African American grants doctors. Dr. Cortisha Googles African American grant. Oh, and grants don't stop at nonprofits. That's another thing I learned in my grant writing class. There are just as many for-profit grants as there are nonprofit grants. And there's so many startup incubators out there, and they're giving, and they're, guess what, y'all? I'm gonna tell you this one thing, I'm gonna shut up for real. There's so many COVID grants out there, y'all. There's so many. I'm gonna send y'all, I'm gonna send Talisha them links to send y'all to. There's so many COVID grants out there. They vary from city to city, state to state. I know y'all got the link for the Facebook money, but if you don't have a Facebook in your area, you don't qualify for that money. Red Backpack has a grant. Hello Alice has a grant. Verizon has a grant. They're giving away hundreds of thousands, if not millions and trillions of dollars. They got grants for restaurant workers. Tell your children. They got grants for grocery store workers. They have grants for musicians and artists. They have grants for people that had to cancel events. You name it, and somebody has a grant out there, and all you have to do is apply. Yeah, make sure you're represented. They're not gonna just call you. Like, girl, we got some grant money. They're not gonna do it. Anywho.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, it's currently that time for us to bring on the editor-in-chief, the visionary, the woman with the master plan, the one that made this thing possible. Editor-in-chief, Talisha Berry.
Woo! Hey! It has been a day. You know what? We courageous and we have got through this. This has been a wonderful conference, and I'm so grateful to all of you. And I know we're probably getting close to cut off time. I think this cuts off at 4 hours, so I'm not gonna stay long. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you ladies. Altavis, you know, sharing your story of homelessness and overcoming that homelessness. It's just proof that you can get through anything at any time, in any place in our lives, that you can get through it and win. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. And I know that people have been blessed by hearing your story. Thank you so much. And Miss Diana, thank you. You know what? So many women have dealt with depression, and even myself. So dealing with or sharing your story about depression, I know that is going to impress upon somebody that they can get through that as well. And just looking at your life and your journey and all that you have accomplished, and you out there doing your thing. I'm watching you, and you've been teaching me and training me in different things that I need to do to get my health in a better way. So I'm looking forward to getting myself going and looking like you. So thank you so much again for being part of the EmPower Players Conference. All of you ladies are such amazing power players. Miss Shidell, thank you. She's there, I don't see her, but thank you so much for
I'm here.
sharing sharing your story. I mean, I was so moved by these stories, and that is what Courageous Woman magazine is about. Women who have been able to overcome, and they come and they share their stories, and it helps someone else. So thank you for being so transparent and sharing your story and letting us know that we can all get through it. What is your hashtag? You're going to be okay. Yes, say that hashtag, you're going to be okay. I'm going to be using that. So thank you so much for being a part of a Courageous Woman and the EmPower Players teleconference. And Miss Cortisha, Dr. Cortisha, I love her so much. She has been here on probably everything that we do. She is here. She comes to California. She comes to Flint, Michigan. Wherever Courageous Woman is, this Courageous Woman is there. And I'm so grateful to her for all that she does. I'm always, you know, whatever she does, I got her back too. So she is definitely been a part of Courageous Woman for a long time. And I'm just so honored to see, you know, to hear her journey, how she has gone through. But one thing she said, she just kept going. She just kept going, and she stayed the course no matter what. And she was able to help over 30,000 young women from all over, from Ohio to even Africa. So I'm so grateful to have her part of our network of Courageous Women, and whatever you're doing, you know, we always got your back too. So thank you so much for being part of Courageous Woman and everything we do. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Miss Kern, I'm just excited about Miss Kern. When I first came and connected with her and knowing all of the different things she's doing with conferences, I was just enthused just to be connected with her. And her name is the Butts in the Seats Queen. I love that because I have been doing conferences. I did my first, it was a talent show. I was calling myself a producer at 17. I've been doing this for a long time. And I didn't know how to get the butts in the seats. I knew how to put together things. My father was in the music industry, so I've been around the music industry and all of that. And I just had this energy. I want to be a producer. And so I did a talent show. So I got all the people, had the acts together, had the talent down pat. But I didn't know how to get the butts in the seats. So I did the flyers. I put everything. I made flyers. But half the flyers were still in the car. But I didn't know. But I was supposed to get out there and really, I mean, I passed out some flyers, but I didn't know how to really hit the streets and get the butts in the seats. So I had a big talent show, and we had a wonderful show, but wasn't hardly no butts in the seats.
Right.
I learned from that. I learned a lot from that. So my very next event was probably 2 or 3 years later when I was producing gospel plays, and we had a 2-day show at a theater in Flint, Michigan, 2,000-seater auditorium. It was sold out because I had to learn how to get them butts in the seats. Yeah. So when she says that, I'm on it because I have learned how to get them butts in the seats, and I appreciate her for what she's doing to teach other women how to get them butts in the seats, because doing conferences or any type of show, it's not an easy thing. Even just doing a live here, just all the things we had to prepare for and get everyone's information together to be able to do this live online, you know, but it's been a blessing. I thank you so much. Thank you for being part of Courageous Woman and EmPower Players Conference. I appreciate you so much.
Awesome. Same here.
Awesome. And Miss Dr. Nima. Oh my God, I'm still doing the exercises, okay? So I needed that. You know, I sit at my desk all day, every day. If I'm not sitting at my desk, I'm sitting up. I got a little pillow, one of those little bed pillows. I'm sitting in the bed with my laptop. I'm laying down with my laptop. I need to get up and get moving a little more. I think we all do, especially at this time. You know, the gyms are closed. I got a membership at the gym, and I had just got going. I was back in the gym. Ask me how many days I have really, really exercised, but outside or doing something since we have locked down. I have not. Keep it real. But that really just reminded me that we got to keep going. We got to get that fun at 15. That's awesome. I really need to do that every single day. And we all need to get going, get moving, and get going, because our health is very important. Because when when our health is not aligned, it's not a whole lot of things we could do. Because I've had my days when I have not been feeling well, and it's you know, a lot of it's because of what I eat. I have a sweets demon. I need to get rid of it. I need to exercise more. I need to eat my fruits and vegetables. We all need to do some different things as far as our health and being more into self-care. So thank you, Dr. Nima, for bringing that to the Courageous Women's Empire Players Conference. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And my coach, Dr. Reverend Dawniel Winningham. She know I appreciate her. We've been on the team on this grind together since the beginning of time. Since I first started Courageous Woman, and she was starting her coaching and doing all the amazing things that she does. She has helped thousands and thousands of women for a very long time. And I appreciate her so much because she has helped me so much. We be up on the phone late at night, early in the morning. So I really appreciate her for bringing her wealth of knowledge and experience, because she has been doing the dang thing for real. That presentation is just a small little bit of what she has inside of her, and how she is so willing to give and share with women what she has learned and experienced over the years. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much for coming on and being part of the EmPower Players, because that you certainly are. Thank you so much. So all of you ladies, I'm not even going to go into my talk because we've been on here too long and I don't want to cut off, but thank you. I thank you so much. And this is for anyone who is listening. Courageous Woman Magazine, we've been around since 2011. We started as a blog, and I just got the feeling that I wanted to make Courageous Woman a magazine. I started the magazine because I started the blog because I wanted to share women's stories. I started off with my own story. I wanted to get some more inspiration. I was going through a divorce, at that time it was a very troubled marriage, and I wanted to get some motivation and inspiration. I wanted to find other women that was going through what I was going through, and I just couldn't find enough. So I began to share other women's stories, and it just kind of moved to a magazine. I wanted to start a magazine, but I really didn't have the finances to start a magazine. I had a friend who had a thriving publication in Detroit, and I asked him, I'm like, what do I need? I need to take my magazine from blog to magazine. He said, well, you're gonna need about 30 grand to start. And I'm like, God knows he just gave me this idea, and I don't have 30,000 at all. I'm in a restart of my life. I just moved to Michigan. I'm like, I need to get this magazine done. So I'm a strong believer of starting where you are, using what you have. If God gave you a vision and dream, there's a way to do it. Believe me, like my grandma always said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So there is. So I looked at my bank account. I didn't have no $30,000. I was missing a few zeros. So I took the $30 that I had and created a way to produce the publication. Like I said, I had done a lot of I worked for other magazines, and I had produced a lot of gospel plays. And we always had to raise the money to produce anything. So it was through contributions, through sponsorships, and getting in the community and talking. So I created my own brochures. I had learned how to do graphic designs. I created everything myself and made a few copies, like 10, and went out to the community and talked about the magazine. And I began to get advertisers and supporters, sponsors to pay for the magazine. And once I got, a few ads in, I was able to buy the marketing materials and really get out there and talk about the magazine. The first publication that we presented to the community was 4,000 copies of the first issue of Courageous Woman magazine. That was 2014, the first print. So we've been going ever since, and now we are in print and online. So we're going to be starting a new print edition in Los Angeles as soon as the pandemic is over. But we have been in progress with that, and some other things we're doing here in California, as well as some other events. We also produce books. We have we've just in our fourth book. Is that right, Dr. Lee? Fifth book. Fourth anthology. And we've published over 160 women in our anthology. So it's been a lot of fun, a blessing to be able to help women share their stories. A lot of times women don't have or don't know how to write the whole story, or think that they can write a whole book. So we give them an opportunity to share their stories in one chapter. So that's all they have to be responsible for, is writing their story in one chapter. So we've done that with 4 books, and 2 of them are best-selling books. And so we appreciate just being able to share the platform in the way we do with books. And we've got another book that's coming out very soon, in the next month or so. We have another book with more women, and our most recent one is The Making of a Successful Businesswoman, with 20 women who's sharing their journey to become an entrepreneur. So that book did become a #1 bestseller about a month ago. So we're grateful, and so grateful to be able to do that. And coming up, if you're interested in being part of Courageous Woman or being featured in the magazine, our next edition, our May is a special edition, Mama's Making Moves. And we want to honor the women who are out here doing the thing, even in the pandemic. People are rising up doing their courses, doing whatever they need to do to keep going. So we want to show these women, or give them a platform to promote their business. If you got classes that you want to share, you're making movies, we want to see, I know women who are making movies. So I want to make sure that we are open to women who are out there making moves with their businesses, their brands, their books, their services, whatever you have, and you want to be part of Mama Making Moves. Make sure that you contact us. You can go to our website at courageouswomanmag.com. You can email us at info@courageouswomanmag.com, and we'll get some information to you. So again, I want to thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry for all the technical difficulties we had, but thank you again for hanging out with us and hearing all these amazing women and their stories. And again, I thank all of them for being here, being part of Courageous Woman and the EmPower Players Conference. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to Dr. Liddell. She's always doing her thing as our host of our projects and our events, whether it's live or online. She is always on time doing her thing. So I appreciate her so much. She is our editorial director. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Liddell. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Back to you.